Hey, you guys, and welcome to Comics After Dark for the Real Comic Fan. I'm your host, FTR, also known as Matt Threat, and as always, Young Tim. So, just heads up, because I'm going to be leaving after this. Tim's actually going to be driving the first podcast. We're switching our schedule. So, because we finally obtained DC reviews, we will be releasing the comic book news, rumors, and everything on Wednesday, while our monthly theme will now take place on Monday.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
So, not only that, but we just recently had our Christmas episode, which we're not allowed to talk about it at all.
Okay,
period.
deal.
So,
And the shenanigans.
and the craziness, the answers. Shout out to Sean at _Sean Solo _ on Instagram. He was amazing. He was our host this year. He sat in last minute for Josh. But there is a new ruler of Rat House Productions. Somebody won it, and I'm a little upset. I'm
You were upset.
I'm a little upset over
Steve.
everything. Dude, it's the craziest thing. Dude, just wait till it comes out. I even gave too much just by saying that I'm upset.
Oh yeah.
So,
but to say like the people involved, like
at first,
the shit talkers versus like the people who actually made it close to the end. It was a really interesting like mix of it.
Yes.
Like give anything away. I'm trying my very hardest here.
So practically everybody participated in Rat House Productions. Some of the people sat on the sidelines. There were other people that just enjoyed it, but it was pure shenanigans, and you will be able to find that soon enough in Bandcamp, you guys. It's going to be you will be able to listen to it through there for free. Or you could do us the huge favor. Remember, we do all of this for free as well. So give us a donation. We'd really appreciate anything you could donate. So there will be that option to do that. Or, of course, you could always donate to us at Rathouse, RATTHAOS.net directly. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get into...
I'm so happy about this song choice, by the way.
We're going to get into our review of Chew. I read as well as Tim has for quite some time. The reason we chose this music is because it is royalty free.
We just went through them and like we wanted to find something very like detective noir-y, and I just heard this one. I'm like, no, we have to do this.
No, I back this up. You know what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to switch that and then bring it up. There we go. So that's a perfect talking over the music. Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's get into Chew. So Tim, take it away, man.
Well, it begins with a fun little opening panel of a bunch of small panels of someone preparing a soup and cutting themselves. Like that's like the prologue, if you will. Yes. Kind of weird. But then we meet our main character, Tony Chu, and the book explains he's a psychopath. He's someone that takes a bite and gets a feeling in his head where he can see where things came from, like where the food came from, and they kind of introduced him like that. And they said there was one food that he has no effect from. You can't eat it. Beets.
And we address that in the history of Chew. And
so after you're introduced to him, you're also introduced to his partner, because they're both cops for Philadelphia PD, and his partner John Colby, who's this just big, striking, blonde-haired guy, and you find out that they are on a stakeout. They're staking. It's actually kind of funny.
So it's like, is it like Teen Titans Go, where they do stakeouts? Drinking lots of coffee, stakeout. You never seen that?
Nope.
How dare you?
Why? I just watched the original Teen Titans.
You should watch a new one. It's you have to throw out the idea of the old one in order to really enjoy the new one. Am I right? All right, whatever.
But I think it's
Aaron's fired now.
It's funny because he's on your team. I like that it's called a stakeout, because what they're staking out are people illegally buying and selling chicken.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, chicken. I guess steaks.
Well, chicken fried steak.
Maybe I'm stretching it a little bit.
Maybe just a little, but just a tad.
And so we see a guy, an Asian guy with a hat on, and he has a bunch of chicken in his uncooked chicken, which in this universe would be like uncut, like cocaine or something like that. And then Tony's like, we gotta take that guy, and John's like, it's your brother. He's like, what? Which one? It doesn't matter. He's working that way to get him. It's like, dude, he's your brother. You can't arrest your own brother. And it goes into his quick little backstory about his brother.
I love this. So, like, the brother is like, he's cooking on a show, and he's like, this is the moment when you would put chicken into your food, but that is outlawed, so we can't. And
he slowly gets madder and madder.
And he's like, look, ranting. I can't lie to you. This is going to taste like shit because there's no chicken. So at this point, you know what? It's all a conspiracy. The government says against us. There's no...
And they cut him off. Yeah.
Oh, wait, but I love the no disrespect to any families that died, but it's a lie. It's like, no, you're disrespecting the family. Like, you can't beat around that bush.
Well, that's it is like part of the complex thing to this universe is the conspiracy of the avian flu, which is the reason why chicken and any poultry-based good is illegalized in this universe. And as they're arguing about arresting his brother, and when John's trying to defend him, strangely, they see their main target, this kind of gangster-looking guy with security. His name's D-Bear, which I already regret not choosing that for my rap name.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Tim. We're gonna have to fast forward. That's a lot.
So they're about to take him down when suddenly a gentleman from the FDA, which in this universe is pretty much the equivalent
of the
FBI, and says he's under protection. So, but they go in anyway to get a free meal. Tony's really against it. He doesn't want to eat chicken because he doesn't like seeing the chicken being killed in his head. But at the same time, it's illegal. But he does.
His partner, on the other hand, totally for it.
Oh yeah,
and when they try the chicken soup, Tony actually sees that there's a serial killer that cooked the soup, and he's in the back. When that happens, they're like, "Are you sure this is going down?" He goes, "Look, you're gonna have to trust me on this." They break into the back, and what happens?
Immediately, he says, "Cops, everybody, stay cool." Bam, butcher knife,
meat cleaver, dude.
Oh, meat cleaver. That's what you call it. Yeah.
Bam, right in the left side of his head. And Tony's like, "Dude," and he goes, "It's okay, I'm fine. Just go."
Well, he doesn't say that because he is dying. She's like, you have to go get him. He's bleeding.
We didn't come back here for nothing. Like, please, just go.
Just go. I'll hopefully be okay. Yeah. So he gets out there. He's like, I know what you did. I saw you killed all these people. And he's like, naming names.
And he's like, you know what? You don't know nothing. And he freaking cuts himself. And Tony says, I'm gonna get those names one way or another, and just literally eats this guy's face.
Oh yeah.
And he gets in trouble for it later on. They're like, why? Explain to me.
The cops are pissed. They're like,
explain to me. Why did you eat this man's face?
He's like, and he doesn't want to. He can't explain it, because if he explains it to his higher ups, they're not going to believe him, and they might even put him in an insane asylum, which they're probably already thinking about doing. Just then,
Mike comes in, right? Was it Mike?
Mason Savoy. He was the gentleman that pardoned the other guy before, and he's like, actually, you're not going to arrest this man. You're going to fire him because he now works for the FDA. Come on, you're clear. And and so that's how his new partnership
concludes
begins.
chapter 1.
Chapter 1. So chapter 2, it starts off with some fast food tomfoolery. We have a kid trying to screw up somebody's food meal by picking a booger. He's about to put it on it, and he notices, oh my god, there's a finger in this. And so then we have the reintroduction of Tony Chu,
which I liked it. The first few issues are actually, I think it's every issue.
Every issue they explain who he is.
Yeah. So they definitely use the Marvel method upon this.
And I think it's comfortable and it's fun. But basically, we also meet Tony's new boss now that he works for the FDA. His name's Mike Appleby, and he is a grade A douchebag.
Oh,
he hates Tony for no clear reason.
And they're like, oh, so it's actually pretty funny because he knows he's a SIBO-path, right? Because that's why they give him the finger. Yeah, because he gives Tony the finger, and goes, figure out who this is. Tony eats it. I might add, it's a rotten finger.
Before that, because I think the quality of pun in this book, it needs to be shown. He goes, he's like telling him to figure it out. He's like, I hope you like finger food. Oh, golden.
So he eats it, and it's like a rotten finger. And they're like, all right, well, thanks. We knew who it was. Tony's like, you knew? And he's about to punch him, and luckily Mason giant hand, I might add, just blocks it and goes, dude, it's not worth it.
Mason, he's a giant. It's really funny because is kind of fat. Like he looks fat, but he's so agile and cool. And I love
and on
Mason.
top of it, Mason, he's like a really big guy with bitty legs.
And little legs, and he speaks with this calm, really sophisticated British kind of talk.
Well,
my good lad, do not worry. He uses big words and stuff.
do you want to read a Mason line real quick?
No, that's your job. No, let's continue this. Well, because I think it gets a little more complex a little bit later, so I'm gonna spend more time on that. But basically, Tony shows up. He's trying to talk to the kid, and the kid's trying to show off his friends, like, "Oh, I'm so cool. I'm not gonna answer any of these things for the cop." And then Tony looks over, and he falls in love with this blonde woman who's beautiful that may appear again later in it. I mean, it could just be a side character. Who really knows? I just read this for the first time.
You nudge nobody right now. You do.
I know. Where's my co-host? Tony's pretty much done dealing with it. So he's like, oh, you're not gonna talk? No problem. And he calls up, and Mason answers. He's like, oh yes, hello agency. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to send out a drone strike on this different kid's house.
The kid basically shits him. Do you want me to read the thing real quick?
Oh yeah. So basically he breaks him because he doesn't want him to lose it. And the kid has that moment from the Goonies. Remember when Chunk? Remember when he admits every bad thing he's done?
Last weekend, I sold $40 from the register, so Frank Barron and I could buy some beer and weed. And it wasn't the first time that I've done that. And Chuck Foster and Candy Denson, they were actually having sex every day in the bake room and not cleaning up. And 3 weeks ago, Mitch Baker peed in the ice machine and on a dare, and then he double dared him to pee into the drums of the artificial chicken that manager bought in Japantown on the black market. And also, I downloaded all my midterm papers for this semester off the internet, along with 3 gigs of music and 12 gigs of porn. And I swear to God, I don't want to do anything about the finger that came from here. I don't know anything. Please don't kill me, officer.
Oh, kill my family. But
please don't kill me.
He's gonna strike.
So at that moment,
it was the greatest ploy. He bluffed that hard.
Yeah. So Tony actually finds what he's looking for, and ends up running off to an abandoned sushi place.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's abandoned.
Oh no, it's not abandoned. It's an obvious front of a sushi place.
And they're like, why is the sushi so bad here? Tony says, and it's because we didn't want anybody to eat here. And right when that happens, you just these ninjas just come out of nowhere.
They look like haired Agent 37 or whatever, the guy from the Hitman games. They all have hair, but they all have that same Hitman look. But those what is freaking you're gonna hate me right now. Red TMNT.
Red TMNT?
Yeah, the red masked one.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not it's Raphael.
Raphael, isn't that your favorite?
No. Oh. My favorite is Leo.
Leo? Yeah, that sounds right. But they have those blades, those short little ninja blades.
Yeah.
But of course, what I think is hilarious is Tony's first reaction is hold on, my name's Tony Chu. I'm the FDA.
Oh no, it's okay. We know. So Tony gets into a fight and he's actually doing really good.
He's doing pretty good.
But then out of nowhere, Mason just breaks in and is like, here comes reinforcement.
Dude, and he is that.
He ass.
Yeah, him and his little legs and his huge body are just agile, and he has his own ninja weapons and throwing stars.
Yeah.
I was like, I did not expect an older Englishman
Hey man, he's got it going on, dude.
But yeah, whatever does it. So, after the fight, the rest of the FDA is there in ambulances. They're taking those guys away. And basically he's and MOP is oh, well, we're done for today. He's what, done? We didn't catch anyone. He's it's all piece by piece. There's always going to be more Yakuza enforcers because that's who it turned out being. Yeah. All in a good day's work. And as they walk away and fade on the distance, you see that right around the corner is actually a trash can with a dead arm in it.
Yes.
That has the tattoo of the
Yakuza.
The Yakuza / sushi place. Yeah. So it's and you also learn, we meet a new, we don't fully meet them, but we're introduced to 2 characters and a lot of frogs. One looks like an old Western man. The other one looks like Samuel Jackson from from Pulp Fiction. But yeah.
And now we're into chapter 3, and we gotta kind of power through this. It's okay.
So Tony, it starts with Tony talking to someone in the hospital, which is his partner, John Colby.
Yeah, which I actually didn't know that until like chapter 4, and I was like, oh, it's him. And at this moment, he's basically describing the woman that writes the. No, wait. Yeah. No. It starts off with the woman writing.
It's people reading the newspaper and puking all over town. And now you're introduced to that blonde lady. Her name's Amelia Mintz, and she has power also. She's I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, Sabo Scrivener. But basically what she does is she's a food blogger, a reviewer, and she can write things so accurate you can actually taste what she's doing. And
so she was describing the burger that she had earlier, which was trash. Even her bite, she looked at it like, you're kidding me, right? So the kid probably tampered with it, and that place might have been shut down after. It doesn't address it.
It doesn't, but it says well, no, lately, saying just lately, she's doing only D-level or worse from the Department of Health, so I'm sure. So she's getting the worst of the worst, and her boss is mad. But anyway, we go back to Tony getting yelled at by his boss as always, and they start on their next case. Sorry, and you also get to see his boss throw up on himself.
He's pissed. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, so and that's pretty much the case he gets put on, that they're gonna go kind of investigate her.
And Tony quickly visits his old partner and is like, I get to see this chick, like, wish me luck, even though he's like kind of like incapacitated at this point, but whatever. So they end up going, and from there Tony actually everybody's in line and they're pissed because they want to get to this person that's writing the reviews because they're all puking on themselves. Luckily Tony goes through and he's able to talk to her.
Before this, we see some very oddly dressed bad guys take control of the place. They shoot the security agent there, and
I thought that was after.
No, it's right before, because this is him imagining meeting her.
Oh, okay.
So after we see that these guys are taking over that place, Tony has this fantasy of meeting her and then immediately kissing and falling in love,
which doesn't happen in my life.
Not at all.
Completely a dream.
He can barely talk to her. He's mumbling. He's kind of like quiet, and then he just hears all these gunshots to turn around to see all these terrorists from a group called Egg. Where is that? Where did they not explain what Egg stands for in this one? I forgot what it stands for.
I think so.
It's something ridiculous. But yeah, they look like French people. They're like berets and stuff. But
what Egg stands for in Image Comics 2?
Yeah. But yeah, so basically Tony's like, and they're like saying, we believe in this. It's all a lie. We want chicken, like all that stuff. And Tony's like, and they're like, and we're gonna make it happen. Tony's like,
Tony ends up actually getting held at gunpoint because he's the only police officer there. So this chick decides to start describing stuff like, what are you doing? Shut up. And they end up puking themselves. So that's the way Tony's,
they all puke so violently. And we get an awesome panel of Tony
like enjoying the puke going on to him, because like
he's thinking about her. He's in love with her, and he just,
which is a surprise because he didn't puke.
Yeah, I mean, he has a strong constitution as a psychopath.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, he has to eat a lot of bad stuff. Yeah, thinking about that.
Yeah, that rancid ass sushi. He probably already puked as it was.
And so he goes, and so really, as it's showing all this is actually Tony later telling John at the hospital.
Like what went down.
Oh, exactly what went down. He's like, and then she's gone. And at the end, we actually learned something fun. Yeah, that's not John. He went to the wrong hospital room. So the whole time you think he's talking to John because of the face bandage, you can't see who it is. And this guy's like, he asks who he thinks is John, like, what am I supposed to do now? I want to see this girl again. And it's like, I don't know, sir. I don't know who you are. Why are you telling me this? Just, you're freaking me out. And so he books it. Then he finally goes to John.
I do not recall that part.
Oh, yeah, just a quick little ending. Funny.
So now we're in chapter 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So it starts off with Tony's boss getting a call about I need one of your finest FDA agents to help me with a case, and he is imagining like, oh, I can send Tony. It's probably going to be a suicide mission. And he's like just imagining him getting killed.
Why does he hate him so much?
I don't remember.
It wasn't addressed.
It's something really dumb that he hates him for in the beginning. It's something really like
it's probably like
menial.
Yeah.
But then he then after imagining all the ways he dies, he imagines all the paperwork he'd have to do. So he's like, So it's true. Get in here. You're incompetent. You're lazy.
You know what? I actually would make that joke when I was working at Knott's Berry Farm.
What?
Because when people were like, I used to be in charge of Boomerang, and when it would go up, people would be like, "Am I gonna die?" I'm like, "No, that's far too much paperwork I'd have to fill out." And they're like, "What?" And they just get like pulled away.
Oh, that's great.
That's true.
That's no, I like that. Like, but the next panel is like one of those afters, like far after.
Yeah.
And we just see Tony and Mason. They're somewhere in the Arctic. There are dead scientists and polar bears and weird stuff. A lot of dead bodies and the explosions in this observatory somewhere in the Arctic. And pretty much Tony's like, I'm pretty sure they're talking about something about a vampire. I know a little Russian. I'm pretty sure he said vampire.
Yeah.
And then it goes to 42 hours early in Washington, D.C. Let's see what's going on in this one. They have an urn here. Oh, and it has to do with David Hamilton, who is FDA special counsel to investigate. Sorry, this one I've kind of forgotten a little bit. I have to do a little.
Yeah. So basically, the urn gets passed over, and damn Mason is like, all right, I'll take care of it. Opens it up by a fan, and it all goes into the air all over everybody. They're like, oh well, that happened. But as they walk out, he goes, well, Chew, why don't you lick the ashes and see what you find? And he actually finds out that something's going on with fire sex.
There's fire, there's sex, and there's an observatory.
Yes,
and that's
basically all he can see.
Sees, yeah. So by a process of elimination, really Mason figures out you're talking about the Gardner. Oh God, I hate Russian words. Kvenchenian International Telescope in Siberia.
Somehow he knows.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you find out a little.
Find out why.
He might have some reasons too. And yeah, so they figure out we got to go check this place out. There's probably something going on there, you know. So they get on a plane. They start heading over there. They fly on down there. At the same time, Tony gets a interesting text from his brother, the one that buys illegal chicken, and you don't really know where he is, but he's hiding behind these vats that have the same Yakuza sushi logo on them. He's like, Tony, you have to pick up, something's going on, kind of thing. But his phone's off. He's on a plane. So they finally make it out to the telescope, and it's not this great haven of science and astronomy they thought it was. It's just a bunch of drunk and high scientists that are chilling with hookers.
Yeah, and Russian hookers that all have the star tattooed on them.
And pretty much they got sent up there, and I guess the funding ran out. Well, the funding didn't run out. The focus on it did. So they have all this money from the funding, but nothing to actually
nothing getting done.
So they've just been chilling the last 20 years or so, and. And they're asking about some paperwork about having to deal with this Hampton guy, the guy they ate the ashes of. Yeah. And he's looking through his old files, and he just sees some TMNT just sitting in his files. He's like, what? What's this? Why is this here? Bam! Immediately explodes. And as that happened, the Russian hookers...
they come out of nowhere and they start kicking their ass.
Well, they're already there, but she pulls a fucking AK-47 out and starts just shooting all the scientists. Well, I guess it's just one of the hookers specifically, and who's teamed up with one of the scientists, and they're talking in Russian, and so you don't really know anything, but the lady does say Savoy, so she obviously knows him. And Tony doesn't know any Russian, and I assume that you don't either. No. So yeah, although someone with Russian probably could have known a lot more about what was going on in the comic if they read it. But basically, what's his name? Mason starts speaking Russian also, and it's like, whoa, what is going on? And then they're talking for a while, and finally, the Russian lady, she says the first English, which is the truth, and he says, "As do I, my dear." They talk more in Russian, and then boom, the scientist goes suicide, and it dies huge hole. Tony's kind of asking about
what happened back
what was happening, and Mason gives him a really interesting answer. After this, it goes to an alien world somewhere out there, one that they were trying to study.
Is that what that was?
It's an alien world, yeah. And you see these weird, like almost like letters appear in the sky there, and that's it. And that happened the same night.
So now we're in chapter 5.
Yeah, chapter 5, and the last one in this one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so it's more the introduction, and it starts off with the FDA.
Yeah. Well, actually, this is the moment where like Tony tries to go and save his brother because his brother's in a warehouse with how do you pronounce it again? Yakuza? Yakuza. There you go. So they get in and like it's a nice little brawl getting in, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a huge like fight between ninjas and FDA agents. It's pretty rad. But yeah, they finally get and they see this giant vault. There's one guy left alive. They're like, what's the code? And he's like, fuck you, I'll never tell you. So Tony's like, wrong answer. Kicks him in the face, breaks his nose, licks the bloody nose stuff.
Yeah, and is able to see everything that's going on.
And he's just like, oh, okay, try 7597272. And it's like, oh, of course that did it. And how'd you do that, mister? And it's like, they break it open and tons of chickens, like hundreds.
Galore.
And his brother tied to a seat.
Right in the middle of it.
Yeah, and then so Tony's like, oh, you finally came. Like, there's a price in your head, you know. And he's like, I was trying to warn you about what's going on here. And then they just immediately start fighting. Yeah, because these two brothers, they're not big fans of each other. Yeah, and then
you got one on one side of the law and one on the other. So.
Yeah, and then you have Mason there trying to calm down, brothers, blah blah blah. So they're so basically Mason walks out with his brother and he's kind of like, well, so what's going on? He gave me the whole detail. And right then this guy appears out of nowhere, hits Tony in the face with his gun, pulls the gun on him. He's about to shoot Tony. Mason jumps in front and all you see is Tony's face get covered in blood.
Yeah, you just see blood splatter and then come to find out Mason kills this guy while also taking a bullet in the arm.
Yeah. So from that point, let's see, who exactly is he eating here?
He's not eating anybody.
No, he tastes the blood from the guy that was killed. And
that's when Tony finds out that Mason's crooked.
Yeah,
exactly. And he goes, "How were you able to?" It's like, so you're able to tell all that just by a little bit of blood? And he's like, yeah. And Mason's like, I'm impressed, which I mean, isn't a good thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Tony's, they end the investigation. Tony goes home. He looks pretty good. He gets in bed, but something is keeping him up. And he knows he can't. Like, he's trying to see something. He needs to see more. So he goes to the FDA's evidence thing. And
is this
and there's a dead dog in there. Yes. And he comes to the next day and he kind of confronts Mason. And
wait, was it the dog bite? I thought it was the blood.
Oh no, it's the dog, but like that doesn't come till later. Because basically what you find out is it looked like the guy that had hit Tony. Yeah, killed the guy that was eventually burned. And in the last second, Mason killed him. And apparently he had to eat the dog to do it because apparently.
The dog saw everything?
The dog was there at the time or something like weird like that.
And Mason, he's like, well, I may be that guy that you're looking for. And basically Tony being Tony's like, I'm taking you in. Yeah. Mason's like, he's like, no, you're not.
He's like, you have to understand. He's trying to convince him. And he's like, I'm trying to get to the truth. There's more here. I am working in the law just around it, but for the better good. And yeah, you finally, but at one point, Tony does get to him, and you just hear Mason go, "You little shit!" And they go for a gun. There's a fight. Basically, the fight ends up with Mason biting off Tony's ear. Yes, straight clean off. And you also learn at this point,
actually, Mason skipped this part by accident.
Oh yeah, Mason is also a psychopath too.
Yes. So basically, he blackmails him. Like, no matter what, I'm gonna be able to know where you're at. Yeah. And I'll know about your family. I'm gonna know everything about you. Yeah. But Tony, if Tony is Tony. He'll never let that go. So of course, it really this ends with Tony looking at his file, and now Mason is on the run. He is no longer an agent. He is a cop gone bad. And you also learn the reason why he does it, because he lost his wife to the avian flu. Yep. And he wants to know the truth of what caused all this. Yeah. And that concludes volume 1 of Image Comics Chew. Tim, what did you think of this?
I love it. When I first got into this series, I didn't actually originally, I didn't get the issues. It was right when the first trade came out that someone I was actually in a band with, a friend David, and he's like, oh, I know you like comics. You should check out this one. I'm like, oh, I do not like the art. I don't want to read this. And he's like,
Typical Tim.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, just read it. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll give it a try. Also, now one of my favorite art like pieces of art in any comic. But yeah, oh man, when I read this, I think. It was like 2 days later. I finally got around to it, read it, called him. Where's the rest? Give me them. Find me them. He's like, that's all that's come out so far. You have to buy the rest. I'm like, no, more. Please.
More. There has to
I need
be
more. There has to be so much more.
That's why I think it's funny when people when they claim I only collect graphic novels, and it's like, that's cool, but like sometimes I want to wait for the whole story, and it's like, well, yeah, you're gonna have to wait 6 months till you can get
exactly.
Your next graphic novel.
But yeah, what do you think, Matt? That's what I really want to know. Everyone knows I like this.
I thought it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the greatest thing I've ever read, but it's definitely it's solid. It's really good, and I would suggest it for other people, especially this would be a type of comic that I would give somebody that first gets into comics.
Yeah,
so they could stay away from the Batmans, the Green Lanterns, because they're going to be
not that you shouldn't read the Batmans and stuff, but you need to have an open mind and realize that comics aren't about superheroes. They're about
storytelling. Yes.
They're about telling a story. The superheroes are good ways to do that, but they're also a lot of not.
There's, what is it? There's something like Harbor County or Harbor Country. It's
Harrow County.
Here to go, Harrow County.
Yeah, good horror one.
Steve from the Everything Bagel podcast collects that comic, and that is written by our friend of the podcast, Brian Wood.
Yeah.
So and that's the type of comic that I'm excited he's into, because that's specifically a comic that doesn't have to do with superheroes, and that is what I like about this, and especially the crookedness of everything.
The art is weird and over exaggerated, but you end up loving it because everyone kind of looks. Even the good-looking people are kind of ugly in a weird way until you get used to it.
Yeah,
it's really it's
what it's like. It's like saying that DreamWorks is better than Pixar, and the reason why is because DreamWorks is willing to take an artistic chance, while Pixar is trying to mimic real life, which is at that point. Just film real life.
Yeah, seriously.
You'll be all right. So with
this, you're saying, because this is definitely on the DreamWorks end of we're gonna try something out crazy. Yeah, Rob Guillory. That's all. Rob Guillory.
So of course we're gonna have to give this a number, Tim. So what do you give the art?
Well, I want to preface this all by saying, just because it's my favorite comic doesn't mean that it's the best comic.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna start that. The art, for me now. I actually overall I'm just gonna give it. I want to give it a 7, and not because it's normal in the middle kind of art. It's because it does have to grow on you. A lot of people might not like the art at first, but I do believe when it finally you get used to it, you love it. Yeah. So I think 7's a fair number to give it for that reason.
I'm gonna give it an 8, and the reason why is because there's a lot of moments in this comic where specifically the first bite that Tony takes of the chicken soup, and you see everything that happens. I know that panel took a really long time to make.
It is complex and inner. Yeah. It's a rad panel. One thing I'll go around and show you another time, because you did have to read through this semi quick. There are a ridiculous amount of jokes in the background, little art jokes or little advertisements that are great jokes that are easy to go by. That's one thing I love in comics. Those little Easter eggs on the back.
Yeah, for sure. What do you give the action?
10, a hard 10.
I will also give the action a hard 10.
Dude, it's rad, and there's blood and guts, but there's also it's cleanly shown. You get it. You understand everything that's happening, and it's disgusting and yet awesome at the same time.
Yeah,
it's great for that. Yeah,
and then of course, story.
For this one, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I'll give it 8.5, just because. I mean, it is just short stories, little cases that builds into a long-term story, and that's cool. But I think when it starts following longer arcs I think it gets really interesting, because it's just bringing stuff up in this when they actually start exploring why did I see space aliens? Why did I see all this stuff? In this one, you're not going to understand, but when you finally get to that later part, it's like, ooh.
I'm gonna give it a solid 7. The reason why is that there was a lot going on and a lot of jumping, and I felt like it conquered too much within the first 5 issues.
Yeah, they do a lot of that. Here's the beginning of the story. Here's the end of the story. Here's the middle, and like they throw a lot of parts out like that, and like.
I mean, I think it would be better reading in single issues so it could absorb. Yeah. But since I had like to read it quickly, it felt really jumpy. But nonetheless, this is a 8.5 out of 10.
That's fair. That's a fair.
If you guys are interested in it, go ahead and pick it up. Make sure to follow us on all our social medias. Instagram, Facebook,
YouTube now,
and YouTube, of course. At
more YouTube now.
Yes, at Rat House RATT space HAUS Productions. That's about it. Remember, guys, download our promo code for Lyft, and you will get 10 rides, $5 off, as well as if you want to drive for Lyft, we get a huge kickback if you use our promo code RHP for first-time users. I'm your host, I'm Matt the Rat, and as always,
Later.